Coming up on Mountain News this morning, Louisiana is making headlines because of a new law requiring the 10 Commandments in schools. And a man who was involved in a high-profile murder case is back in jail facing different charges.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning, I'm Olivia Calfee. We are just past 5:30 on Friday, June 21st. Now let's go on ahead and check in with meteorologist Tim Drawbridge for a look at your forecast this morning.
Everybody, as we go ahead and check out the view behind me at Hazard, and yes indeed, we don't have the fog issues we've had the last couple of mornings. It's 64 outside our door here at WYMT, and visibility is now back down to a half mile in Ashland. In Williamsburg, we're still holding at 3, but we will continue to see a few fog banks develop as we head through the next hour plus. 70 from Ashland down to Moorhead, near 70 at the London Corbin Airport. It is 68 at Harlan, 64 at Wise over in Virginia. Nothing to show you in the satellite weather composite this morning, so any fog that does continue to develop will burn off by 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, and we're left with a lot of sunshine and the slightest risk, like yesterday, of a pop-up shower or thunder shower and a high today in Hazard up to 92. More about the First Alert 7-day forecast as we head through this half hour. Olivia?
All right, Tim, thank you. A Louisiana law is getting a lot of attention. It will require all public school classrooms in the state to display the 10 Commandments. Jessica Umbro breaks down what this law means.
Because if you want to respect the rule of law, you got to start from the original lawgiver, which was Moses.
Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry signed the bill into law Wednesday, requiring the 10 Commandments to be displayed in every classroom that receives state funding.
As long as the U.S. Supreme Court has been trying to make sense of the Constitution's religion clauses, public education has been the hot spot.
Dr. Stephen Voss says political trends could suggest other states with similar views could be waiting to see how this bill plays out in the courts.
If it succeeds, if it passes constitutional muster, if it meets the policy goals that the states seem to be pursuing, then it will spread.
Under the Louisiana law, it's not enough to just have the 10 Commandments at the front of the classroom. The paper needs to be 11 inches by 14 inches, and the text needs to be large and easily readable.
It doesn't even reflect the diverse religious makeup of Louisiana itself.
The ACLU of Kentucky says they're against the measure.
You are essentially denying other perspectives and other views on what is the appropriate text to put and religious views to put in a public school.
The Supreme Court has struck down similar laws before. A 1978 Kentucky law required the posting of the 10 Commandments in public school classrooms, paid for by private funds. In 1980, the U.S. Supreme Court struck it down, saying it violated the First Amendment's Establishment Clause, which prohibits the government from establishing a religion for people to follow. Dr. Voss explains a perspective in favor of the Louisiana measure.
Why is it okay to post in a classroom a set of moral or ethical principles because they came from a philosophical source, but once they come from a religious source, then it's not okay to do the same thing?
Jessica Umbro, WKYT.
Our sister station, WKYT, reached out to the Family Foundation, a group that advocates for policies that prioritize biblical values in Kentucky policy. They told us that they support the display of the 10 Commandments in public schools because of their historic significance. They said they believe the Supreme Court has clarified the definition of religious freedom in recent years, including allowing the display of the commandments under the First Amendment. An inmate in Pike County who had been on the run is now back behind bars. Last week, deputies with the Mingo County Sheriff's Office had asked for help finding Andrew Eastwood. He was booked to the Pike County Detention Center yesterday, according to their website. Eastwood is facing multiple charges, including escape and a probation violation. Police in southern Kentucky are looking for a missing man. Here's a picture of 36-year-old Justin Young. Deputies with the Whitley County Sheriff's Department say he was seen in the Devil's Creek and Travis Trail areas last Friday. If you have any information about Young, you are asked to call Whitley County Dispatch at 606-549-6017. An Eastern Kentucky man is making a renewed effort to overturn his conviction following a controversial pardon. Patrick Baker was originally convicted at the state level for killing Donald Mills in Knox County. Former Governor Matt Bevin pardoned him 2 years later. Federal prosecutors took up the case and a jury convicted him again. Baker's attorneys argued that his previous legal representation was constitutionally ineffective, leading to an unfair trial. A new motion asked a judge to vacate Baker's conviction and sentence and give him a new trial. Laurel County Sheriff's deputies arrest a man for impersonating a police officer. 48-year-old Eric Graber of Plainville, Indiana, was arrested early Wednesday morning. Deputies say he was creating a disturbance at a parking lot approximately 11 miles south of London because a tent was set up and he couldn't move his car. While talking to police, Graber identified himself as a reserve deputy sheriff from a sheriff's office in Indiana. Deputies discovered that he was not a police officer and arrested him. A man who was involved in the high-profile murder case of a Kentucky football player is back in jail. Shane Ragland is charged with assault, domestic violence, and terroristic threatening. Police say Ragland attacked and threatened to kill his mother at her Franklin County home. Ragland's mother told investigators he ran her over with his motorized wheelchair, hit her, and threatened to kill her if she didn't leave her own home. Ragland was convicted of the murder of UK football player Trent DeJuro and away from the pool.
Yes, there's been probably double the amount that there usually is since it's been 90 plus every day, and the UV's been like 8 or 9 every single day, which is pretty high for around here.
Well, it seems pretty warm. I got a big swimming pond right out here on left side of me. They'd be coming in here sometime today and going for a swim.
The CDC website says that hot days can affect anyone, but children, people with a heart condition or other health conditions should take extra precautions if they go outside. The American Bar Association is offering legal aid to those affected by the severe storms that happened on April 2nd. The free legal assistance will be available to those in 11 counties, including one in our area. If you were affected by these storms in Whitley County, you can call the number on your screen. It's 859-993-0300. That number is available from 8:30 a.m. to noon and 1 p.m. to 4:30 Monday through Friday. And still to come, New York is trying to protect kids online with a new law that restricts companies from harvesting their data.
It may be warm, but it's a spectacular start to the day as we check out the view from Buffalo Mountain. Does the sunshine roll on? The humidity? Yeah, it's just some subtle relief on the horizon. We'll let you know when. Your First Alert 7-day forecast is coming up as your WYMT Mountain Morning News continues.